Good morning. I don't know what time it is. I think it's September the 12th, 2012. And I gotta tell you, it's probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up and I had to record this because it's just too important. You have to listen to me. Do not do not alter the cat's minds. You have to not do that. When you see that happen, it is a sign of the end. And you gotta know this is gonna happen. One day in the future, what's gonna happen is some doctors and some scientists, because of people with cats and some of the bad habits they have with scratching and things that they do that they don't want the cats to do, they're gonna make a special chip plate thing that they put on their brain, and it's going to control the cats, and it's going to make the cats perfect. Everybody loves it, and that's the problem. Everybody loves it, but it's a trick. It's a scam. It's the beginning and the end. It's to make complacency. It's going to make everybody. It's to control everybody, not just the cats. It starts with the cats. But it happens as everybody ends up getting controlled. Everybody, I mean, because it starts with the cats, and they do it with dogs, and then they start eliminating other animals because you don't really just need them, you know, other than the animals for food and stuff like that. And then you're not, eventually you won't even be allowed to have plants except for a special type of plant. It'll be like a plant system where there'll be like a series of plants on the outside, and then inside there'll be like other plants that eliminate the waste from the plants on the outside. It's like a system. I don't know how to explain it. I just saw it all in a dream, and it's I think aliens that are going to be doing this, that are really going to be trying to control us. And it's like a way to lure us into this world without us knowing it, where we think where things are getting better, things are going to be getting easier, and we'll be able to work harder and longer. And like I said, it starts with the cats because it makes our lives so convenient, and the technology seems so good. But eventually they start putting it on people, and then people are complacent. Nobody will have free will anymore. It'll be over. It'll all be over. We'll all be under control. I'm telling you, it's very important. Listen to this. You understand me? It's going to happen, and people need to know this. And it all starts with the cats. You can't alter the cats' minds. When you see them altering the cats' minds, you know it's happening. It's starting. That's what's going to happen. I don't know how far away this is. It doesn't seem that far away at all. And there'll be a time when people will start to realize this, and they will stand up against this before it gets completely done. But they will create a false icon to make you believe that you defeat it, but you don't. You haven't defeated it. When you think you've defeated it, that's when you're almost totally gone. I don't know how to actually defeat it. I just remember seeing it, and the people tore it down, and then they thought that it was over, but yet they were still being watched, and they still had they had this last little bit of free will, but they were coming to take it away, and I don't know how to stop it. And the only way to stop it is to not let the cat's minds be altered. I'm telling you this now. You've got to understand me. I don't know any other way to say it or stop it, but this is the most important thing. You've got to pay attention, people, because I am certain that this is going to be an issue, and we will no longer be people with free will. We will no longer be a race of animals. Will be all under control by something, somewhere, somehow. I don't know. It's probably not making any sense to you. I wish you could see what's in my mind. Then I know you'd understand.
After a 3-year legal battle against the University of Wisconsin-Madison, PETA has obtained records and dozens of never-before-seen photographs of a cat named Double Trouble, who was used in cruel experiments. All of the photographs you're about to see were taken of Double Trouble by the experimenters themselves. As part of a taxpayer-funded project, Double Trouble had steel coils implanted into her eyes, and a steel post was screwed into her skull. Experimenters used this metal post, as well as a blue nylon bag, to keep Double Trouble immobilized while she was forced to listen to sounds coming from different directions. She was also deprived of food for several days before these sessions to coerce her to cooperate in exchange for a morsel of food fed to her through the metal device in front of her mouth. Later, experimenters intentionally deafened Double Trouble by applying a toxic chemical to her inner ear. Then holes were drilled into her skull so that experimenters could implant these electrical devices on both sides of her head. Wires connected to electrodes in her brain protruded from the grotesque contraption on Double Trouble's head. Double Trouble's records show that her experimenters allowed the mask delivering anesthesia to Double Trouble to fall off, and she started to wake up as experimenters were cutting into her head and skull. After these procedures, Double Trouble's face was left partially paralyzed, and her health rapidly deteriorated. More than 3 months after her last surgery, her records describe the head wound as still open, moist, and bloody. It soon became infected, and UW staff noted that she appeared depressed. UW experimenters admitted there was a, quote, problem with the experiment. Ultimately, it was deemed a complete failure. Because experimenters no longer had a use for her, Double Trouble was killed, her head was cut off, and experimenters examined her brain. Experimenters excused abusing 30 cats every year in this cruel experiment by stating that it would help them, quote, keep up a productive publication record that ensures constant funding, end quote. To date, no papers have been published in any medical journals as a result of the suffering Double Trouble endured. Help us make sure that not even one more cat meets this cruel fate at the University of Wisconsin. Please visit PETA.org/Double Trouble and tell the funders for this project to stop funding this cruel experiment.